Alright, what's going on guys? It's GCP here, and it's no surprise that Modern Warfare has been plagued by a host of issues, but one of the things besides the maps and besides what everybody else is kind of complaining about, I want to focus in on some of the key things that really would change this game if we didn't have to change the maps per se, because again, that's a separate issue and I've talked about that lots of times before. But one of the main things that I personally would like to see changed more than anything else is dead silence becoming a perk, or having this footstep audio reduced, because it seems to be a huge problem, especially for those people like myself who want to move in this game. Again, I have been advocating for rushers in this game. I've been saying that this game makes it very difficult for people to move because people hear you from a mile away. And it seems to me that even though they have, addressed those issues a little bit, they seem to be still a problem in this game. I could still hear my own footsteps really loudly. I could hear my teammates' footsteps really loudly. And again, this is a huge problem in this game because wherever you go, you're not sneaky at all unless you have the field upgrade Dead Silence active. And again, even if you have it active, it's only for a limited time. So one of the things that I think needs to be toned down is the footstep audio of the teammates. Let me go into a little bit about this. The footstep audio of your teammates definitely throws you off, especially when you're holding down a flank route or a choke point or somewhere where you can expect enemies to come through. And I'm not saying just holding it down whereas you're camping, or maybe you're just sitting there for the entire game and just picking people off. That's not what I mean, because there are people who definitely do that. And I don't think that's, well, it's definitely an option you have, but it's not some type of option that I usually resort to, because I'm not somebody who likes staying in one spot for the majority of the game. But for those people who like to hold choke points, like for example, if there is a lot of traffic that comes through a certain part, I like to stay there for a little bit until I get my bearings and then move on and try to seek out the enemies. But anyways, if I am holding a certain spot for a time, or maybe I'm just even healing up and I'm aiming down sights because I'm expecting people to come through that place, when I have teammates coming through behind me, and I'm not really paying attention to the minimap because you guys already know what happens. You know that one split second where you take your eyes off of your screen, for example your ADS or what's in front of you, and you peer at the minimap, an enemy automatically just shows up during that time and kills you, right? Because you took your eyes off of the minimap. A lot of times that stuff happens, and a lot of times what I've noticed in this game that's gotten me killed, or at least has gotten me to look the other way to check if it's an enemy sneaking up on me, only to realize it's a teammate, is this thing that keeps occurring. The footsteps of your teammates are way too loud. They really sound like the enemy. And either my suggestion is either getting rid of footstep sounds altogether so that way they're completely silent, or reducing them drastically so you know the difference between the footstep sounds of an enemy versus your own teammates. Because at its current time right now, they're the same. You cannot tell the difference between your teammates and enemies. They sound the exact same, and that is a huge problem in this game. And I'm hoping that in a future patch or through the overhaul, they will address this, or at least fix this. I personally hope that they're completely silent, because I don't want to have to constantly look over my shoulder or, completely turn my eyes away from a choke point or an area or a site that I know enemies are going to be coming from, and then your teammates are coming behind you for whatever reason, and then you have to turn around just to realize it's your teammates and it's not an enemy. And in that split second that you look away, either on the minimap or you look and physically turn around to see it's a teammate, an enemy pops up and kills you. A lot of times that's happened, and it is indeed very frustrating. But footstep audio in this game needs to be addressed. Dead silence needs to become a perk in order for rushers to completely be more confident in their rushing ability, because this is the first time ever that we have seen dead silence becoming a field order and not in a perk slot, which again doesn't make any sense. Do it however you guys want to, whether you want to include it in a perk 2 so it can compete with ghosts, or replace ghosts and make ghosts a field upgrade and have dead silence go in there. However you guys want to do it, make sure you do something about it, because it seems to me that this is a huge problem in this game. Or if they want, like I said before, is the footstep issue, make your footsteps either reduced or have your teammates' footsteps reduced as well. So that way there is a noticeable difference between footstep sounds of your teammates versus the enemy. So that's another thing. And then also, when I'm just running around with my own footsteps, sometimes you can hear people who are in the building next to you. And honestly, I don't care what type of headset you have, you should have the ability to sneak up on someone if you're crouching as well. Because a lot of times what's happened is when I was crouching, people can still hear me. Yes, they are reduced, but you can still hear their footsteps. And that should not be a thing in this game. You know, you're obviously putting yourself at a disadvantage by crouching, because first of all, you're going at a slower speed, and second of all, you just become an easy target. But if you're sneaking around in a building, and especially if somebody is waiting there for you upstairs or holding, you know, a certain point on the map where, you know, you want to get at a camper especially, how else are you going to sneak up on them? You want to be able to sneak up on them by moving slowly, by crouching, or even if you have the room to, by proning and not being heard. Even though I know proning, you don't get heard, but crouching at least, you should not be able to be heard as well. So just some of these glaring issues that I think need to be addressed ASAP in order for this game to become a little more viable, a little more useful for those of us who actually move in this game. Because currently, it is catering way too much to campers, and it's something that I have never experienced before in a Call of Duty game, basically ever. So those are the things that I immediately want to see changed, and I think this game will start to play a lot better, regardless of the maps, because the maps are already horrible. We already know that. But besides that, the footstep audio needs to be changed. But anyways, let me know your guys' thoughts down below. What is the one or two or couple of things that you want to see that are absolutely necessary in this game for it to start improving and becoming a much better experience for all of you guys, or all of us? Anyways, let me know all of your thoughts down below. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you guys hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. With that being said, this is GCP, signing off.